to the Larks nest suspension system. Larks nest suspension system is made from 7/64 Amsteel steam and incorporates two basic features. The first feature is the toggle, and the second is the UCR component. So your hammock is suspended from the rope on the toggle, just as you would with a marlin spike. Take this off here and show you. So here we have the toggle, and here we have the loop, in case this is one of Jeff Meyer's style universal loops. And here's the toggle. And the difference here with this toggle to a marlin spike is that it's held on using a Lark's head, and hence the Lark's nest suspension system. And I'll go over some of the advantages of using this in this particular setup. The toggle not only is used to suspend the hammock from, but it actually uses to secure the tail of the UCR, which locks it in place and stops it from moving. So, like any other toggle system, you just simply remove it by pulling it, and it frees up the rope. And now we have our toggle on the end of our UCR tail. And if you're wondering what the markings are, this just allows me to adjust the length of my structural rid line, use it as a guide. So here we have the UCR component, and I can adjust that just like any other UCR, sliding it this way or sliding it back, milking it out, and I can set the height. Now, what I need to do now is to set the toggle. So once I've adjusted the height on the UCR, I'm going to come up, and I know that my Lark's head wants to be around this area. This is my first marking. So it's going to be there. I can actually release off the UCR a little bit, and now I can tie my Lark's head at that point. So to tie that, I'm trying to show it as I'm doing it, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to create basically a loop, reach in with my fingers and pull those out. And then I have the loop. I'm going to take the tail of my UCR, and it's important, I'm actually going to feed through the rope end through into that. As I said, difficult to actually try and present it to you to the camera at the same time as doing it. But so goes through, and then that ties off, and now you have basically your Lark's head here around, and then where your cable goes, your tail goes underneath the knot, that locks it off, and that's where you're going to adjust until it's tight and give you your set distance. Now, I'd loosened it off while I was showing you that, so I'm going to just bring it back to where I thought I was going to be setting it, which is around there, and that's actually set in the wrong place at the moment. So what I can do here, which is the benefit of the Lark's head, actually this is too high, I'm going to drop that down. I actually want my Lark's head to be here rather than all the way over there. So what I can actually do with the Lark's head, which I can't do with the marlin spike, is I can release this off and basically roll that down to the point that I need it at. Again, difficult to actually try and show you this as I'm doing it, but I can take the cable here and roll it through and pull this one on here. So it's going to actually come down, pull this through. Say, a lot easier to do when I'm not trying to angle it for the camera. And get it to where I actually want it to be. All right. And then make my put my height adjustment back where I want it, and then lock off by pulling through the tail of the UCR till it's locked off, and now we're ready to go. And all I have to do then is come up with my hammock and place it on the knot. So you can see it's on the knot there, not on the toggle, but on the knot. And now that's firmly locked in place. My UCR is locked in place. That's not going anywhere. It's hard to see here, but you see the UCR here. Both of those are tense. And apart from just tidying up, I can take my excess Amsteel. Actually, I've got about 20 foot on each side here. Don't need all of that, but I'm new to this, so I'm giving myself plenty of room for errors, and just tie that off, just to tidy that up and get it out of the way. And that's the Larks and S suspension. The benefit of it is that it's adjustable, easily adjustable, using the UCR, easy to set the toggle. And the UCR portion is all within the hammock, this first 1 foot of the hammock, which means that I can get a really close hang in here on the Amsteel, which if it was a whoopee configuration or even a standard UCR coming out here, would actually limit the space that I have.